Welcome to Piano Video Lessons Year 1, Unit 6. Today's lesson is lesson number 13, and we're going to be learning to play in D major. This is in preparation for learning to play the Pachelbel Canon in D major. You can click the info card to come on over to pianovideolessons.com where you can find links to the ebook as well as all of the other free video lessons. When playing in D major, we're going to learn the pentascale, the keyboard geography, the diatonic chords, and some improvisation skills in D major. This will set us up for being comfortable playing and reading in the key signature of D major. We've also learned so far to play in E minor, A minor, F major, and B flat major. So you can check out earlier videos to learn how to be comfortable reading and playing in those keys. Today's free lesson is brought to you by our sponsors at Patreon. You can click the info card to find out more or to become a sponsor. Let's get started. Alright, so let's jump right in. In this lesson, we're going to be doing all the standard technical things we do in the key of D major. We're going to do the pentascale, the major scale, and the diatonic chords, and then we're going to do some improvisation. But first, let's talk about the key of D major. So if you've been following along through this group of lessons, we've moved through F major and B flat major, which are keys that use flats. And then we've also played A minor, which is relative to C and doesn't use sharps or flats in the key signature, but does have variations on the minor scale, which does include some sharps. And then we learned E minor, which is relative to G major, and also uses some altered notes. So now we're going to hop back on the outside of the circle. We're going to move down one more spot. So here we have D major. And we can see that we're moving in the direction of sharps. So going down this side of the circle of fifths, we add flats. And going down this side of the circle of fifths, we add sharps. So here we had 0 sharps, and here we had just 1 sharp. And the 1 sharp was F sharp, and now we have 2 sharps. This now has F sharp and C sharp. So when we play in the key of D major, we'll be reading a key signature with 2 sharps at the beginning of the music. So you can see here, there's an F sharp and a C sharp in the treble clef, an F sharp and a C sharp in the bass clef. And that's the same for all of the music written in D major. So let's go right ahead and get started playing. We're going to start off with the D Major Pentascale. You've probably done this before, and if you haven't, well, here it goes. We're just going to place our hands with D on the bottom. We can repeat this, and we can repeat it 3 times if we like. Why not? And then bottom, middle, top. So that will get you a nice little warm-up here in the key of D. Nice and easy. Now we can have the D major scale, and if you look at the little chart here that shows the dots, it goes D, E, F sharp. Now we're going to tuck our thumb under, just a quick tuck, so it's just like a boomerang. No, like a ricochet. Just a really fast movement. D, E, F sharp. Move quick. Just kind of snap out there. D, E, F sharp. Thumb. Snap out. And then 3 white keys. Then we have C sharp. And then D comes again. So we're going to put our thumb back down. It's like we're starting over again. So we're going to put our thumb under and snap out. Now we're just back into this D pentascale positions. We have D, 2, 3, thumb, snap out. And our 4 is near the C sharp. Great, so let's put some little gems on the black keys here. This is just a little helper. You shouldn't rely on these, but they're really nice just to visually help you target what's happening. So these are just some little stickers I picked up at a craft supply store. Might have been in the dollar store. Maybe these are reflective on the camera. I'll move them over. So here we have D, E, F sharp, 3. That's finger 3. Then thumb comes under, we snap out. Black key with finger 4. Tuck under, snap out, 3, and I keep asking you to snap out because I don't want you to develop any kind of tension reaching across your hand. Just a quick reach under, quick reach, and move your rest of your hand back into position. And you can play it coming down. I ran out of fingers, so I'm going to have to turn over. So I'm going to F sharp, that means it's a 3. Ran out of fingers again, put my 4 next on C sharp. There we go. Now, the left hand. I'm going to start it. Where will I start it? Down here. There we go. There's our pentascale. Then I ran out of fingers. So I'm going to bring my 3 over. And if you look at the music here, you can see it's written out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to put my 4 on the same note that it played when I started the pentascale. So when I started back here, my 4 was on E. So that means when I come over to E, I'm going to use my 4. So here I go. E, F sharp. I ran out again. I'll go to 3. Here I go back down. 1, 2, 3, tuck. All the way to 4, tuck. 1, 2, 3, tuck. Now, if you have been playing along with me, that you will know that that is standard scale fingering, because a lot of scales use that exact pattern of 3s and 4s. So if you happened to play all of those with me, that one will be a piece of cake. And let's see if these will stay. They seem not very sticky for some reason. All right, so there we have them. Now, you might also want to try to play those with both hands at the same time. You don't have to. This is totally optional. The last thing you want to do is create tension in your hand just because you were hoping to be able to play it hands together. If you wanted to just try a little bit, I would just go like 1 octave and then back down. You don't even have to worry about that. That's a fairly advanced, people think hands together scales are something that you should jump into, but in fact, they're fairly advanced. They don't even happen in music until quite far in. So now we can do the diatonic chords in D major. And again, we're going to target these 2 sharps. So let's play the D major triad, and that's just the first triad in the stack here. You notice that the F sharp is the middle note, and we can look through here and see these black keys as they appear. So F sharp is the first sharp, and this is where it's found, right here in this bottom line. So we're going to have an F sharp in the middle of this chord, and again, just below the bottom staff here, we have an F as well. So you can just start to target where the C sharp and where the F sharp are going to fall in your hand as you play through these groupings of notes. I'm going to go ahead and play them. So we'll start off, I'll just show you with my right hand so I can demonstrate here on the page with my left. So we're going to have D major, now we're going to move to E. Now there's no black keys. We have E minor, then we're going to move to F sharp, here we have it, F sharp, A, C sharp, that's F sharp minor. Then we have G, all white keys here. Then we have A major, then we're going to have B minor, B, D, F sharp. We're going to have a C sharp, diminished. That sounded of a diminished chord, and then back to D major. So these are the diatonic chords for D major. And let's do them from here in the left hand. So we're going to have D major triad, then we're going to have E minor triad, then we're going to have F sharp minor triad, then we're going to have G major triad, then we're going to have A major triad, then we're going to have B minor triad, and we're going to have C sharp diminished triad, and D major again. So plus is major, minus is minor. You can also write the minor with a little M after it. Either way is correct. You'll see this one in pop music all the time, more often this one in classical. All right, so that's all the technical skills you need. You can go ahead and practice these. Broken and solid, running up and down the piano. And just get used to the feeling of where they are on the keys. The next thing we're going to do is this improv pattern. So we're going to do a left-hand pattern to improvise over. And we're going to use a reach that we discovered when we played our Unit 5, Lesson 8. And this was a nice big, we call this the 158 reach. And conveniently, it was also Unit 5, Lesson 8, 158. All right, so what we have here is a chord progression, D chord, then down to A chord, then up 1, B minor, then we go down to F sharp, then we come to G, then we go all the way down to D, and then G, and then A. And this repeats as many times as you want to continue improvising, and when you're done, you're just going to play all 3 of these notes together. All right, so when you reach this, I call this a D major, but you know D major triad actually has an extra note in there. I'm just going to play it with my 2 on A, leaving out the F sharp. Then I'll hop down. I'm reaching this octave, playing the 5th in the middle. But as I said, if you've been through Unit 5, you will not find this new. It's a review. In fact, this chord progression is even a review. Do you recognize it? I bet you do. So now, if we're going to improvise, we need to use the notes of D major, because that chord progression used the chords that we just named here in our diatonic chord section. So let's go ahead and improvise this. I'm just staying right here in my pentascale position in the right hand. I've chosen a high position on the piano for my right hand. And it's just playing on the keys like finger painting. The only thing is that sounded like Taylor Swift. I'm just making sure that I play rhythms in my right hand. Like ta 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 hoo. Ta 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 ta. Or TTs. T-T-T-T-ta ta, T-T-T-T-ta-ta. And finishing on my tonic note, which is the home note, which is D. All right, so what will I say about that? Improvisation. Yeah, you just have to really get to know the left-hand pattern quite well first, and then try playing the improv in the right hand. You can play it anywhere on the piano. I stuck with just the pentascale position, but you're able to use any notes in the key of D. Once you feel more confident in your improvising, just go everywhere you feel like going. That's perfectly great, as long as you play F sharps and C sharps. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and if you did, I would love it if you would consider becoming a sponsor on Patreon. You can click the link in the info card for more information. All right, next lesson is going to be the Pachelbel Canon in D, and we're going to be using all the rhythms we learned in lesson number 12. We're going to be seeing some 8th note pairs, we're going to be seeing 8th rests, we're going to be seeing some T tickas, we're going to be seeing some ticka tickas. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. It's a very long song, 3 pages. Similar length to the Moonlight Sonata, but again, I'm going to walk you through it. You're going to love it. All right, so I'll see you in the next lesson.